I, Namrata Subhat, on behalf of the NSS unit of Bombay Teachers Training College, would welcome you all to the celebration of Ambedkar Jayanti. Today, we have gathered here to celebrate Ambedkar Jayanti, the birth anniversary of one of India's greatest visionaries, Dr. Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar. Dr. Ambedkar was not just the architect of the Indian Constitution, but also a social reformer, economist, jurist, and above all, a tireless advocate for justice and equality. His life stands as a beacon of courage, intellect, and commitment to creating a society where every individual has the right to dignity and opportunity. His contributions have laid the foundation of modern India, and even today, his ideals continue to guide us in our personal and collective journeys towards equity and empowerment. We are truly honored to have you all here as we remember and pay tribute to this extraordinary leader. Now, to take us deeper into the life, legacy, and values of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, I am delighted to invite Dr. Gauravi Lokekankar, who will be sharing her insights and reflections on Baba Sahebkar's remarkable journey and his contributions to our nation. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Gauravi on this podium.
Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar is basically Dr. Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar. As rightly said, he was a visionary, social reformer, jurist, economist, and the principal architect of the Indian Constitution. He was born into a marginalized community, but he rose against the odds to become the voice of the oppressed and champion of social justice and equality. He dedicated his life to eradicating caste-based discrimination and uplifting the downtrodden through education, legal reforms, and social movements. But to know a little more about this leader, let us dive into his childhood. He was born on the 14th of April, 1891 in Mao, Madhya Pradesh. Born into the Dalit community with a family which is subjected to caste-based discrimination during that time. This was the pre-independence era. His father, despite of all these discriminations, encouraged education for all his children. He studied at the government high school in Sakkara, and despite exclusion and humiliation which he had faced during those times, he excelled academically. He was a spectacular student, and that showed from his early childhood days. He graduated in political science and economics from Elphinstone College in Mumbai in 1912. Further, he studied at Columbia University in the United States of America, and he earned his ME and PhD in economics through 1913 to 1917. He also studied at London School of Economics and was then a barrister at Gray's Inn. He earned his DSc in economics and was qualified as a barrister from Gray's Inn through London. He has a wide span of achievements all throughout his short life. But we will go through the most significant ones, though all of them are equally important. In 1924, he founded the Bahishkrit Hitkarni Sabha to work for the Dalit community and their welfare. In 1930, he led the Mahad Satyagraha to assert Dalits' rights to access public water. In 1932, he signed the Pune Act with Gandhiji for political representation of the depressed caste and classes. In 1942, he formed the Scheduled Caste Federation. Through 1947 through 1951, he served as the first Law Minister of India, independent India. From 1947 to 1950, he was chair as the Constitution Drafting Committee's chairperson, and hence he is hailed as the father of Indian Constitution. I would like a round of applause for the father of Indian Constitution. In 1956, he embraced Buddhism along with 1,000 of his other followers. But sadly, on the 6th of December 1956, he passed away in New Delhi. Babasaheb Ambedkar had a lot of visions for the independent India, and those are seen by his work and a few quotes. I measure the progress of a community by the degree of progress which women have achieved, was his most foremost quote. Be educated, be organized, and be agitated is something that he strived with. Cultivation of mind should be the ultimate aim of human existence. And don't we think that it is necessary to cultivate and evolve? And he has said that long back, and it still stands true today. Political tyranny is nothing compared to social tyranny, and a reformer who defies society is more courageous than a man or a politician who defies government. And thus, he led to the freedom and the upliftment of all the classes and masses. Life should be great rather than long, and we have heard this saying in a lot of movies thereon also, that life should be great rather long. His main contribution was to the drafting of the Constitution of India. The historical background for the Indian Constitution is that before independence, India was governed by several of the colonial laws, and the most significant was the Government of India Act in 1935, which laid the groundwork for the Indian constitutional development. But why did we need this constitution? After independence from the British rule in 1947, there was a need to establish that framework to take India further. It defined the structure of governance, it guaranteed rights and freedoms to all citizens, it established justice, equality, liberty, and fraternity as its core values. And how was this constitution formed? Through the Constituent Assembly. The Constituent Assembly was formed in 1946 with a total members of 389 in the Constituent Assembly. Though after partition, they only remained 299. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was appointed as the chairman of the drafting committee for the Indian Constitution. The assembly also included members like Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Rajendra Prasad, Sarojini Naidu, and Maulana Azad. The constitution was drafted over 2 years, 11 months, and 18 days, with extensive debates, discussions, and studies of other constitutions around the countries of the world were undertaken for consideration. The draft was presented on November 1949. It was adopted on the 26th of November 1949, which is also celebrated as the Constitution Day. And it took some while for it to come into effect. It came into effect on the 26th of January 1950, which today we celebrate as Republic Day. On this day, India became a sovereign, democratic republic. What were these key features that B.R. Ambedkar established and embedded in the Constitution forever? It is the lengthiest constitution written in the world, and the preamble declares that India as a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic state. It provides for parliamentary form of government, fundamental rights and duties of all citizens, directive principles of the state policy, federal structure with a unitary bias, independent judiciary, universal adult franchise, and single citizenship. The Constitution is a living document and has been amended over 100 times. And the notable amendments were the First Amendment, which came in 1951, which added to restrictions of the free speech. The 42nd Amendment in 1976, known as the Mini Constitution, that added the words of socialist and secular to our preamble. The 44th Amendment came in 1978, which revoked the emergency powers given during the 47th Amendment. And the 73rd and the 74th Amendments followed up in 1992, which empowered the Panchayati Raj and the urban local bodies. Through the Constitution, we have had landmark judicial judgments. Some of them are the Kesavananda Bharti case, which has introduced the basic structure doctrine, meaning Parliament can amend the Constitution but not alter its fundamental framework. This was in 1973. Also, the Menaka Gandhi case is one of the landmark judicial interpretations, which was in 1978, which expanded the interpretation of right to life and personal liberty. The Constitution is the supreme law of India. It safeguards democracy, individual rights, social justice, and rule of law. Institutions like the Election Commission, Supreme Court, and the CAG derive its authority from the Indian Constitution. It continues to evolve with time to meet the changing societal needs. Dr. Babasaheb's contribution will forever be remembered and will be hailed upon. With that, I would like to conclude. Let us have a minute of silence and remember all his values with which we are moving forward and growing. Thank you. Of the little brief that we have shared today, let us have a little views that have made a lot of difference in your lives. Of what values has Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar given us, which are the most valuable to you and have made a significant difference in your life. Could I have some hands and their views or opinions about it and how they made any difference in your life or your relatives? Yes, Andrea.
Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar has achieved equality, because of which we have seen that backward class.
We will pass on the hand mic to you so that everybody can hear your views.
Hello. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar initiated equality. So because of which we see that the backward classes in India have got the chance to come up and shine in the areas where they couldn't take part. So I think the value of equality is something that he initiated, and it is a really valuable one for the society as well.
That's a very good thought.
And as a teacher, I would definitely like to initiate that in my class.
Truly keeping up. Anybody else? Any values that have made a difference in your life? Yes? Yes, Deborah? Please pass the mic to her.
I really appreciate the dignity of human beings that he spoke about. So one thing that was very fundamental to his being, to his teachings, to his work and his prolific work was giving dignity to all humans. And that is so important, even though it's something that's so obvious. We know that we were living in a society where did not have the same dignity or weren't treated with the same level of respect. So when we and so many of the other people whom you mentioned contributed in making the constitution, they emphasized multiple laws and sub-laws within acts, sub-acts, sub-clauses that ensured that we need to treat each human being with dignity. Not just recognizing them as equal, but giving them dignity as well. And I think that value is something that I also hold very important.
Very rightly said, we are upholding the rights and freedoms to all. Anyone else? Here I would like to make a mention that the value that resonated with me was the progress of a nation is measured by the progress the women have achieved. And as women, we are now allowed to study more, to have higher education, to have a career, alongside with having a family, rearing kids, and still progressing in our goals, in our professions. So I guess that is where we are also benefiting from that little change that we did long back to the years that we are coming, and of course our future generation will also reap the benefits. Anyone else? Neha Pandey? Any value that you think has been useful, has been fundamental, has made a difference or an impact in your life? Can somebody pass the mic to her? Hello.
So the values like equality and women participation in every field is the values that I admire most and I would like to inculcate when I in my day-to-day life and when I'm joining colleges and school. So even I would like to teach such values to my kids and students. Right.
Very rightly said. Thank you. Yes. Yes, Anand. We also have today's men representation with the views, and we would like to hear him out as well.
So,
Thank you, Anand.
India is called the most beautiful country because of the fundamental element of unity in diversity. So for that I want to thank Dr. Ambedkar for inculcating such provisions in our constitution, for example Article 29 and Article 30, which grants protection to the minorities, linguistic minority, religious minority, which gives protection to the tribal or any community to practice their faith, their culture and traditions. You know, these rights, these fundamental rights empower every community, every person, irrespective of their community, irrespective of their origin, to feel a part of India, to practice their culture, their tradition, their faith, their language, without any fear, without any fear of being called an outsider or an outcast. So I want to thank Dr. Ambedkar for that.
Yes, very rightly said. He has also put in the constitution the duties before the rights, because you have to do a certain duty towards your motherland, and when you do those, of course you have your rights. So duties before your rights, but they are for all. We will have further continuing discussion. For that, I'll have Namrata on next.
To have a better discussion on this, we have a small activity. We'll be passing on these chits, and the activity is called Ambedkar's Wall of Vision. You can browse some quotes, or maybe you can focus on words or values that he used to vouch for, and you can just reflect on those values, talk about them, share your views, and we'll stick that on that board, and for a week long it will be there. You can reflect on those, share your views, how you can inculcate them in your life, in your teaching career, how you want to inculcate those values in your students. So we'll pass on these tricks. You can do it in pairs. So you can either look for some quotes by Baba Saheb Ambedkar ji, or you can write some words, your views also on these tricks. So I'm passing this on. You all have 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll start with the discussion. Okay.
नहीं नहीं वो पूरा हिलेगा स्क्रीन इसके लिए. बोले इधर जाके वो अकेला ही वहाँ पे है, मुझे ना उसका यहाँ पे चाहिए, मैं वहाँ पे जाके बात खाली खाली उसको यहाँ भेज उसको और कैमरा सुन करके देखो. If you would like to show your chicks to the camera.
Then they will finish writing their quotations and discussing it with their partners. You can volunteer to come and put them here. You can take suggestions from others also and put it on the board.
Would you like to show? मेरा नहीं दिखाना चाहोगे?
Look what she's doing. She's not.
पक्षी मूवी जो है
सॉरी सॉरी गलती
कुछ
हो गई
लिखा है
नहीं ये लिखा है डिजाइन कॉज की स्पेलिंग कैसे आयल 8 है मेरा बता दो
ये फोन का तो नहीं लेते हैं ना
फोन का नहीं है
Cultivation of mind should be the ultimate aim. I measure the progress of ये होते ना life should be greater than ये मैंने लिख लिया
Can you read it from
Education is the passport to the future, but tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it.
More?
Anyone chicks coming in?
Yes.
If you have got a chicks, come quickly here.
Anyone?
Last year.
उसको बुलाओ एक बार, उसको बुलाओ मैं
Somebody write this. Andrea.
here she's coming
Andrea. मैं ये मोटो चीज के मोटो प्राइस अभी नहीं मोटो प्राइस
11th अभी ये इसके बाद वी हैव अ डिस्कशन फिर है हाँ वही
हाउ लॉन्ग मोटो प्राइस
कितने देर यू कैन वेट क्या हुआ
और फिर एक डिस्कशन
नहीं लगानी नहीं वाला
अरे दिखाना है वो ये मैम रिया मैम अम्बेडकर वॉल्यूम है
Please come for the picture. If you all want the picture with me, then quickly come. Yeah, come fast. बाद में दूसरे टीचर आएंगे उनसे ले लेना अदरवाइज आई एम गोइंग डाउन मेरे को नहीं है हमने बोला सब आ जाओ कितने बच्चे हैं सब आ जाओ टीचर्स गिव अस स्पेस आज मॉर्निंग में होने वाला था माइक की आवाज नहीं होती है
आवाज करता है क्या? राजू नहीं है राजू।
हाँ तो ठीक है ना, बाद में बुला लेना ना सर, हम भी काम कर रहे हैं। थैंक यू वेरी मच, गॉड ब्लेस यू। जियो टैग ऐसा ही है, मैं क्या करूँ?
ये किसका फोन था? बड़ा लेट खुला, बाद में खुलेगा। बहुत लेट खुला क्या?
Okay, we can see quite. Can I have your attention? Thank you. So we can see quite a few quotes on the wall, and one of the quotes is repeated quite a few times. So can one of you all just volunteer and read that quote out? Yes, please. And share your reflections. Now that you've browsed and you would have definitely got good 10-15 minutes to reflect on the values, I would like everyone to share maybe a few lines or sentences as to what they feel about it, what they felt when they read that particular quote, and how they can instill those values in their lives. So we'll start from here. Yes, sir.
Hello. Yeah, so there is a quote that really, deeply affected me while reading. That is, life should be great rather than being long. So we don't know what's happening tomorrow. So let's be in this moment and live our life to the fullest. That's what I think.
That is a very nice thought. Yes, Master Noor.
The similar quote, what she exactly said, that is what all of us believe, and also what I believe is that our life, we should do some things not just for ourselves, but even any act that would help others or make a difference in their lives, then our life is like we have achieved something. A feeling of satisfaction that our whole existence has made some changes in others' life and helped them out. That is what I believe. And also, not just the quote, but Baba Sahib Ambedkar's entire life is truly inspiring. From where he began to what he did for the entire nation. He just did not, fought for himself, but for the entire country. Is that what is truly inspiring?
That's true. Doing something for somebody else, you get a lot of satisfaction. More satisfaction when you do something for somebody else. And when you make somebody else happy, that's true. Yes, I want others also to contribute. So we are conducting this activity because we will be drafting a pledge and taking that pledge on the 11th. Hence, I want everybody to contribute. Shiva?
Come on,
Your
guys.
reflections.
Wait a minute. Take the mic. As earlier said, that he is Dr. Ambedkar's whole life is like so great and so inspiring that it makes us like so proud that we are here today because of all his contribution. So every quote, I just want to say a single one. Every quote inspire, like it can inspire a person for his whole life and generations to come. So
There's a quote that I found while scrolling through Pinterest. It said, "We are Indians firstly and lastly." Once again, reinforcing the idea that caste is just a construct, and we are Indians. That our point.
That is a very strong one.
Wait, please, Mike.
So what I wrote was, if I find the constitution being misused, I shall be the first to be burned in. If we look in India now, what the political scenario or the cultural scenario, we are every day we are facing something. So in this time, this is the first thing we should keep in mind: how to protect the constitutions, how so that we can pass on to the future generation also. तो डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर ने हमें जो कुछ भी दिया, उन्हें कैसे बाकी जनरेशन को पास अप करना है, इट्स नाउ आवर ड्यूटी. सो प्लीज सेव इट.
Yes, ma'am.
My quote included that caste is a state of mind. In our country, still in villages and all, there is still caste-based discrimination which is going on. And I think that we are privileged enough to say that we don't face it in our real life, but it is still prevalent. Somebody used the word chapri earlier. I heard that. It is also a caste-based slang. Those people who used to make the roofs or the chappal, they were called as chapris. So nowadays people use it as a to criticize someone or to put someone in a bad position. Yes, even Bangis. So I would like to say that we should stop using such slangs first, then we should tell others.
Me? Okay, I'll say something. So, नहीं. So, live long wala is something quote I have read a long time before, and it took me a time to understand what it actually meant, because we try to live in the moment, but we stop understanding that how to live in that moment. Because even though we are still here, our mind is still somewhere else. So we stop living that moment instead of counting how many moments we have lived. So that becomes something very which addressed me a long time back. But I understood, and it took me a time to understand what it actually means. And during Ambedkar Jayanti, I have very beautiful memories from my school days. So during my travel back from my school, there's Azad Maidan. So during Ambedkar Jayanti, all the followers of Ambedkar, Baba Sahib Ambedkar used to gather there. And that day, no buses, you can't find a single bus which is empty or you can sit, because all of them are filled with Sir Baba Sahib Ambedkar's followers, and they are so religious with how they believe in him. Their thoughts, they are provoking. So I talked to one of those followers, and they say, "हमको आना ही आना है, चाहे कुछ हो जाए." And people come from far away on that day at Azad Maidan just to to celebrate his life and his journey. So I believe that his thoughts will live a long life even after we die.
Jayanti.
Thank you.
So there was one quote that was, "Cultivation of mind should be the ultimate aim of human existence." I've seen that quote more than 7 times, I think. Yes. So that quote fascinated me more as in a person being a teacher or being a person who's just into some or the other creativity. We humans are more like we spend our time more scrolling on the phones, and we have so many things in our life that we don't concentrate on what are skills or what are development we can do as a person. So, being a teacher, as a teacher, we can build this foundation in students, as in we can help them out. What are new things or new innovations are there in the society, and this will definitely cultivate their mind, and their focus towards the society would be more. And yeah, so yes, that would be only.
So we as educators have a lot of power to change the young minds and inculcate these values into the young minds. Anyone else? Anand, yes.
So, my quote among, I count, there are so many quotes given by Dr. Ambedkar. So, but the central theme of all his quotes, I would say, is to make the world a better place. And that is what I wrote on my chip, because I believe that that is what he intended to do. And how did he, how can we implement that idea is by treating everyone equally, by respecting everyone's rights, whether right to freedom, right to expression, or to even right to dignity of life and personal liberty. I think by doing all this, we can definitely make the world a better place and honor Dr. Ambedkar's legacy the best we possible. Thank you.
Anand, thank you. I would like to pass that. I will come back to it, but first we have Mark.
I'm inspired by Dr. Ambedkar's slogan, that is educate, educate and organize. So his means is educate means we should know our rights, we should be informed, and educate. As educate means we should educate. Educate means we should come together and we should raise our voice against the discrimination which is happening in our country, in our society. Organize means we should support each other, we should get our backs, and we should fight for our rights. So I'm inspired by this slogan.
Here I would like to say that Baba Saheb Ambedkar has done so much that it truly defines a thought that would best suit him, saying that your legacy is not who you are, but what you have done. And he is the person who has done so much, not just for the community that he belonged to, but for people in general, for India. And that is what has led us into this progression, into this India 2.0, which we are now seeing. The core principles with which he found the constitution are something that will transcend time. They are relevant back then in the 1800s, relevant during the 1900s, they are even relevant in the Y2K. So that is what is matters. He was truly a visionary. The only sad part that I would like to say is that we have lost a gem, and I am still waiting for another Ambedkar to come on. There are a lot of followers, but we really need more visionaries like him today. And that would finally get him peace and will grow India further, is what I believe. And it may not be just from a certain caste community, it could be anybody. So if we just find those values and grow our future generations, maybe we could have another Ambedkar who would probably lead to another progress that India needs. And I'm very happy that my son takes his birthday.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to call upon Neelu ma'am to share her reflections.
Not just reflections, but I really wish to say that I resonate with what Arnold brought today. That Ambedkar's vision was basically to create and to have a better world to live in. And the striking quality that I feel that he showcased was the fact that he stood up to support. He stood up to talk about injustice. He had the courage to talk about something wrong happening to people. And whatever may be your vision, but if you have that courage to stand up and support somebody, that's, I think, is going to lead you to your vision of having and living in a better world. So from Ambedkar, I really feel the followers of Ambedkar are just doing that. And I feel that he was the first person to bring that kind of motivation and inspiration against in people to, I wouldn't use the word fight, but yes, that urge to talk about something wrong that is happening around them. That, I think, is something that we all should follow up even today. I think it's our call, of course, but then it's nice, it's wise to be with people in their times of need and to stand up against it, whether it's the gender equality or whether it's women empowerment or whether it's any other field you are working for. But talking for people, standing up for people's rights is something which is minuscule and you can definitely make a difference through that. So I feel that is one big quality of me.
Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's life is a profound example of courage, perseverance, and unwavering dedication to knowledge. Born into a society that denied him basic rights and dignity, he rose above adversities through education. For us as teachers, his journey is a powerful reminder of the transformative power of learning. We can learn that education is a tool for empowerment. We know that. And from Ambedkar ji, we can definitely know that and enforce it. Dr. Ambedkar believed that education is the key to liberation. As teachers, we hold the responsibility of empowering students, not just with knowledge, but with the confidence to question, to think critically, and to break barriers. Commitment to equality, he dedicated his life to fighting social discrimination. In our classrooms, we must strive to create inclusive spaces where every student feels valued and respected, regardless of background or identity. The courage to stand for truth, as Neelu ma'am mentioned, Baba Saheb never hesitated to speak against injustice. As educators, we must also have the courage to uphold what is right, to stand by our principles and inspire our students to do the same. And lifelong learning. Dr. Ambedkar earned multiple degrees from some of the world's top institutions. His intellectual hunger reminds us that learning never ends. As teachers, we must continue to grow, adapt, and stay curious. Dr. Ambedkar's life teaches us that teaching is not just a profession, it's a mission to nurture minds, uplift lives, and shape a more just and enlightened society. To conclude the event formally, I would like to call upon Andrea to give the formal vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. A warm welcome to each one of you today. Good afternoon, everyone. As we come to the end of this meaningful celebration of Ambedkar Jayanti, I feel honored to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the NSS unit. First and foremost, I extend a heartfelt gratitude to our respected principal, Dr. Bhagwan Balani,
and our Vice Principal, Professor Dr. Mandeep Kaur Kocher, for their continuous support and encouragement, which always inspire us to take such important initiatives. And I would like to also sincerely thank our NSS Program Coordinator, Dr. Neeru Verma, whose efforts and leadership were instrumental in organizing the event smoothly and successfully. To Dr. Gauravi Lokigaonkar, thank you for enlightening us with such an inspiring session on the life and legacy of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. Your words gave us deeper understanding of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar's contribution to the society. And of course, a big thank you to all the students and volunteers who participated and supported in the celebration tonight. Your enthusiasm and teamwork truly reflected the spirit of NSS. Not me, but you. Let us carry forward the message of equality, justice, empowerment that Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar stood for. Thank you, and once again, Jai Hind.
Thank you.